these guys have something to win. If Islam beat him, he beat one of the greatest welterweight all the time.
If that does materialize, it's going to be obviously one of the most respectful competitions out there. But we compete with our brothers each and every day.
Fresh off making UFC history again, Islam Makhachev suddenly finds himself at the center of a new twist. His promoter now claims Khabib personally stopped a fight with Kamaru Usman. Firstly, Michael Bisping said Islam absolutely shut JDM down, pure domination in one-way traffic. He noticed Jack looked mentally broken, especially with his corner yelling at him between rounds. Bisping even said he felt bad for him. Paul Felder added that JDM looked emotional in there and he didn't mean it as an insult, just that the moment hit him hard.
Islam shut him down, dominated, one-way traffic, whatever you want to call it. Jack just wasn't in the fight. I felt for him though. I felt for him because he was like, his cornerman in between rounds was like, what are you doing? Stop playing half guard. You got to go at him, and like basically just abusing him. And Jack just looked destroyed mentally, like, I'm trying.
He looked emotional. And I'm not saying that to even diss him, right?
Enter Ali Abdelaziz. He said he hopes the UFC eventually books Kamaru Usman versus Islam Makhachev because both men have everything to gain. If Islam wins, he beats one of the greatest welterweights ever. If Kamaru wins, he proves he can still conquer the toughest challenge at 170. Because even Kamaru knows Islam is his hardest matchup, Ali called it a massive fight if it ever happens.
And hopefully we can see, if Kamaru Usman fight Islam Makhachev. I think both these guys have something to win. If Islam beat him, he beat one of the greatest welterweight all the time. Dana White can say, hey, Islam it is, right? If Kamaru wins, be like, it's a tough task. And Kamaru, no, Islam is his toughest fight out there, And if this guy fight, man, it's a big fight, man. People can say whatever they want.
Next, Ali talked about Ilia Toporia's tweet. He praised him as one of the greatest young fighters, but warned him about chasing Islam while being 20 pounds lighter. He told Ilia to build his own legacy, finish his contract, and earn real pay-per-view money before talking about Islam. Ali said Ilia's acting like Conor, tweeting whenever big fights trend, and he urged him to create his own hype instead of riding someone else's.
But in a way, you're gonna be in the cage 20 pounds less than Islam. You understand? And create your own legacy. Build your own self. You're young, you're hungry, you're good. Make your money, run your contract out and get a new contract. You understand? And fight Islam for big prize money. Let Islam do his thing, you do your thing, and after that you guys fight. But in a way, I feel he's taking a page out of Conor's book. When big fights on, get on Twitter and write, and you get attention. Earn your own attention. Live your own legacy. Don't live legacy of other people. Create your own hype. Don't live other people's hype. And this is why I think people have to answer questions.
Moreover, Henry Cejudo said the only man who can truly push Islam Makhachev right now and maybe even beat him is Kamaru Usman. He hyped it up with a drum roll, calling Islam the one legitimate threat to Islam's dominance. Henry emphasized that stylistically, Usman has the tools to give Islam a real fight.
So I'm here to tell you something, Kamaru Usman. The only person that right now, in my opinion, that could give Islam Makhachev a run for his money and potentially even beat him. Can I get a drum roll? Come on, can I get a drum? Give me a drum roll, Kush. Brrr. The Nigerian nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
Responding to him, Kamaru Usman agreed that Islam is the most competitive matchup for him because he doesn't see any real holes in Islam's game. He compared the feeling to the pressure he had before fighting Covington. Usman said those matchups bring out his most spectacular performances. It's the kind of fight that forces a spirit to show up and battle for every moment.
When I look at a guy like Islam, I don't really see holes like that. And that's something that scares me, that causes that heartbeat to go up. And that's where you see some of the most spectacular performance. Because the last time I felt that like that was Colby Covington 1. And that's when I was like, yo, you got a guy that can wrestle just as good as you, a guy that can grapple just as good, a guy that can maybe not strike it, but a guy that can strike just as well. You have a guy that's good at all these things. how do you get that victory? And that's where you live. That's where you get that your spirit just is in there to just fight it out.
Dana White admitted that it wasn't the most exciting title fight, but said Islam showed complete dominance. He added that depending on what the UFC does next with him, Islam is clearly heading toward GOAT territory. Dana emphasized that Islam's control and consistency are what make his rise undeniable.
Not the most exciting title fight you'll ever see, but let me tell you what, complete dominance, and it's depending on what we do next with him and what's going on, this guy's headed toward.
Dana said Khabib ran up to him after the fight, begging to put the belts on Islam, and joked that Islam took more damage from that than the fight itself. He added that Khabib's father always predicted Khabib would dominate and Islam would take over after him, and Dana says it's incredible how perfectly that prophecy has come true.
Yeah, so I was like, Khabib came up to me freaking out and screaming and says, "Can I put the belts on him, please?" I said, "Yeah." He goes over there and wraps him over the head with both the belts. I think he took more damage in getting his belts than he did during the fight. And I was saying to Khabib, I've been in the fight business since I was 20 years old, and all I ever hear is, this guy's going to be a world champion, this guy's going to do this guy's going to do that. Everybody says the same thing, and almost nobody ever does or makes it. His father said, Khabib will go in and dominate, and he'll have a run, and when he's done, and then Islam will come in behind him and do the same. And, holy shit, it played out exactly the way his father said, which is pretty amazing.
Moreover, Chael Sonnen said the fight was really boring and one of the dullest UFC title bouts he's seen in a long time. He clarified he wasn't attacking the fighters of the UFC, but simply calling it how he saw it.
What would you say about the main event? It was boring. It was really boring. I haven't seen a UFC fight that was so boring. And I must tell you, I don't come in to complain against the product or the athletes or the system or the gaming of the system. I come in to just tell you when it was 2 fights in a row, where there was one sense of urgency from both of the champions.
Chael said he was shocked by Jack's lack of effort, as Islam dominated him and he couldn't believe this was the same JDM Bilal faced. He called this version of Jack very beatable, reserved, and nothing like the aggressive fighter people expected. Chael added that Jack's punches were non-existent and non-intimidating at all.
So I saw this lack of effort by Jack, and I was surprised why that Jack isn't the one that Kamaru Usman got to face. I apologize that Bilal Muhammad didn't get to face. That Jack, very beatable. That Jack, kind of angry. That Jack, pretty reserved. I mean, those brutal, angry, non-existent punches weren't really that intimidating or effective.
Right after the fight, Ali Abdelaziz said Islam's dominance across 2 divisions proves he deserves respect as one of the greatest today. He praised JDM but said Islam made a tough fighter look outmatched. Ali added that Islam consistently makes elite opponents look ordinary, and this was another example of that.
4 title defense, lightweight division. Now win lightweight, welterweight title. Dominance performance. Jack Mandalina is a very tough guy. He make him look today like he's white belt. No disrespect, but this is what happened. That's the truth. And in a way, now you don't have to like us, but you have to respect this man. Put some respect on his name, and start. In my opinion, he's greatest fighter of all the time today. The way he beat guys. He beat guys and make them look like they fight in a small promotions, and they come short note in the UFC. And he beat world champions. They are like amateurs, and this is what happened today. Jack Mandalina is very tough fighters. Big respect to him and his team. They did preparations, but Islam was too much tonight.
Ali said Islam wants Kamaru Usman next, noting Usman's 15-fight win streak and 5 title defenses as proof he's one of the greatest welterweights ever. He emphasized that Kamaru is a very tough opponent and never an easy night for anyone. Ali added that Usman is the real deal and Islam wants to face the real deal.
He said it. He said he want to fight Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is 15-fight winning streak, 5 title defenses, greatest welterweight of all the time. Beating all these young guys. What does that do for his legacy? He don't do nothing for his legacy. Kamaru Usman, it's a very tough opponent, and I represent him too. And it's not an easy night for anybody. Kamaru Usman is a real deal, and he want to fight the real deal.
While discussing Kamaru Usman as a potential matchup, Javier Mendez said he misspoke when he called Kamaru the greatest welterweight ever. GSP still holds that spot in his eyes, but he added that Usman is absolutely one of the greats and a legitimate threat, which is why he'd be a serious, worthy opponent for Islam.
Possible, and you know what? I made a comment that I got to take back. I said he was the greatest welterweight of all time and deserved it. And I'm like thinking, what the hell am I thinking? I go, my God, no way. No. He's the great one of the great ones, yes, but not the greatest welterweight. GSP's the greatest welterweight of all time. You know, I mean, he's got the most title defenses and the most domination, GSP does. So I take that word back. So correct me, because I was wrong on that one for sure.
Michael Bisping said Islam has never been a boring fighter, pointing to finishes over Moicano, Poirier, and Volkanovski. He admitted the JDM fight was slow, but argued that only casuals or boxing purists call it boring. Bisping said Islam was trying to finish, JDM's defense just made it look that way.
Was he boring when he knocked out Alexander Volkanovski the second time by a head kick in the very first round? No. None of those performances were boring. However, I will say, Saturday night, Jack versus Islam, it was a little bit uneventful, okay? And they did have a lot of people at my house watching the fight at that time complaining, saying that it was boring. A lot of times people were looking at their phones because it was one of those matches. Listen, Islam went out there, took him down time after time. This is mixed martial arts. This is not boxing. And yes, these kind of comments are what you hear from casuals or MMA haters or boxing purists, the type of people, MMA is just a bunch of hugging and stuff like that. Well, he was trying to finish the fight. It's just because Jack Della Maddalena had really good defense.
Bisping added that the welterweight division is stacked with contenders, all pushing for a title opportunity. But after looking at every option and how the picture is shifting, he still believes the most realistic next opponent for Islam is Kamaru Usman, not Aaliyah. Bisping thinks that the matchup simply makes the most sense right now.
As a claim to fight for the belt, because he's 19-0, he's undefeated and just knocked out Sean Brady. You've got Carlos Pratis that just sparked out former champion Leon Edwards in devastating fashion, did something that no one's ever done to Leon Edwards, so he's got a shot. You've also got Shavkat Rakhmonov that was the #1 contender, but then he got injured. You've got Bilal Muhammad going up against Ian Gary. Ian Gary's making a lot of noise saying that he wants to fight for the belt as well. And then, of course, after all that, you've got Kamaru Usman, the Nigerian nightmare. So there is no shortage of opponents. Oh, you've also got Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley's been doing great things and looking phenomenal lately as well. And he wants a title shot as well. So you put it all together. I mean, I don't think Ilia Topuria is going to get a shot to go up and fight Islam Makhachev.
Next, Henry Cejudo said that he has Islam in the top 10 pound for pound right now, but he'll move him into the top 5 once he defends the welterweight title. He explained that becoming champion is one thing, but proving you can keep that belt is what earns elite status. Henry said defending the title is what truly cements Islam among the sport's all-time greats.
Listen to me why. Because he still needs to defend that title. Once he defends that title, you could probably slide him in now into the top 5. But it's not until you can become a champion against Jack Della Maddalena. Let's talk about how is it that JDM caught into the title, because he was number 5 or 6 at the time, and somebody got hurt. He slid in. He beat the crap out of Bilal Muhammad because because Bilal Muhammad wanted to do the Canelo hands. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did he beat a Shavkat? Did he beat a Kamaru Usman to get to that title? And that changes everything. So the same reason why you could become champion. All right, now let's see what the next best thing is.
Talking about matchup with Islam, Kamaru said he loves Islam and that their fight would be one of the most respectful matchups in the sport. He added that they already compete with their brothers daily in the gym, so facing Islam would just be high-level competition, nothing personal.
If that does materialize, it's going to be obviously one of the most respectful competitions out there. But we compete with our brothers each and every day. We go in the gym and we train with them and we grow with them and we grind with them. So it would be no different. It would just be competition at the highest level. So, hey, I want to see it.
Aaron Bronstetter reacted to Islam versus JDM. He said that while weight classes matter, skill can completely override size, and Islam proved that. He called Islam's skill level otherworldly, saying he dominated JDM in a fight many expected to be close. It wasn't competitive at all, and Islam made the move up look effortless. He added that Islam now belongs in the all-time conversation.
There are weight classes for a reason. At the same time, skill is, such an important factor. Not to say that Zhang Weili isn't skilled, but at the same time, like, I think the skill level that Islam Makhachev continues to climb to is really like otherworldly at this point, because he just absolutely handled Jack Della Maddalena. I thought that fight was going to be a lot closer than it was, and that was not a competitive fight. Islam, you have to put in the all-time conversation now. He's just the way that he was able to move up and make that look so easy.
Aaron Bronstetter said the opponent who intrigues him the most for Islam right now is Michael Morales, calling him undefeated, well-rounded, and someone with no clear weaknesses. He added that Shafkat is another elite matchup but needs a comeback fight after his injury layoff. Bronstetter said both will be thrilling stylistic tests for Islam once timing and activity line up.
I just haven't seen
Michael Morales over everyone?
I haven't seen any weaknesses in his game. He's undefeated. He just beat Sean Brady, who, if it wasn't Islam getting the title fight tonight, I think Sean Brady was right there. Like, he probably would have been next in line after the win over Leon Edwards. That's the one that intrigues me the most, honestly, is Michael Morales. The other one that really intrigues me is Shafkat, but I feel like Shafkat kind of needs a fight before he gets a title fight, to come back from injury, get a good win, and then go from there. We'll see just how bad this injury is, because he didn't fight all of this year. You could say the same thing for Jack. I mean, Jack took 14 months off, was at the right place at the right time, got a title shot, and ended up capitalizing on it. Maybe you could put Shafkat in that spot, because I think Shafkat is just an absolutely elite fighter. And I think him versus Islam would be one hell of a fight.
If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Boxism for more fight previews, expert takes, and all the drama leading up to fight night.